Lines on the road are everywhere you look when you're driving. They're white or they're yellow. They're solid or they're dashed, and they can mean very different things. But what they have in common is that they're there to keep you safe if you obey what they're trying to tell you to do. So let's go over what those lines mean, starting with white lines first. White lines are used to regulate and control traffic that's moving in the same direction. They separate lanes or simply mark the edge of the roadway. Here's what the most common white lines mean, starting with solid white lines. And in general, all solid lines, yellow or white, are boundary lines of some kind. Lines that are there to show you the limits of where you're supposed to be driving on that particular section of road. Solid white lines mark both edges of two-way roads, such as on this rural road. They also mark the right edge of one-way roads, such as on this side of an interstate highway with all lanes of traffic going in the same direction. They show drivers where the edge of the roadway is and indicate that you're to stay to the left of it. They're also there to discourage driving on the shoulder unless signs indicate it's legal in certain circumstances. While crossing a single solid white line is discouraged, it's not strictly prohibited and may be done to avoid a hazard or an accident. Solid white lines are also used between lanes to direct traffic into a specific lane. Among places they're seen would be around exits, entrances, HOV or carpool lanes, bike lanes, and separating through lanes from turn lanes at intersections. So if you see a solid white line, remember that it's there to guide you and keep you in your lane. A double white line prohibits lane changes in virtually all circumstances, except to avoid a hazard or collision or to allow an emergency responder to pass. These may be seen where two roads separate or come together, or at the point where on-ramps, off-ramps intersect a highway. Sometimes toll and carpool lanes are separated by a double white line. In general, broken lines are there to separate lanes, either lanes of traffic moving in the same direction or lanes of traffic moving in opposite directions. Broken white lines separate two or more lanes of traffic moving in the same direction. You can cross those lines and change lanes anytime it's safe to do so. Yellow lines are used to separate lanes of traffic moving in opposite directions. Drivers should drive to the right of yellow lines. Broken yellow lines in the center of a two-way road indicate that you can pass or overtake other vehicles if it's safe to do so. Solid yellow lines, often seen alongside the broken yellow lines, indicate that you cannot pass on that road for the length of the solid yellow line if it's on your side of the road. In other words, if there's a solid yellow line painted to the right of the yellow dash lines going down the center of the road, that means it's controlling your lane of traffic. You cannot pass for as long as that line is there. You can only cross it to make a left turn off of the road. Once that solid yellow line disappears from your side of the road, then you can pass. However, always be sure to check for oncoming traffic and use your signals. An exception is that you may cross a solid yellow line to enter or leave a center left turn lane. Double yellow lines mean no passing is allowed in either direction, often indicating areas where visibility is poor or where it's dangerous to overtake another vehicle and pass. These lines are there for your safety. Respect these lines to avoid accidents. White and yellow road markings are also used for other purposes besides just separating lanes. White arrows on the road indicate the direction you must go when you're in that lane. These arrows can show whether you need to turn left, right, or go straight. Following these arrows helps keep traffic flowing smoothly and prevents confusion at intersections. Stop lines are thick white lines across a driving lane, often found at intersections and pedestrian crossings. They indicate where you must stop your vehicle when required to stop by a traffic signal or sign. Always stop behind the stop line to ensure safety for pedestrians, your vehicle, and other vehicles. When there's a crosswalk at a stop sign or a stoplight, always stop before the crosswalk. Pedestrian crosswalks are marked by either white or yellow lines. They can come in several different forms. Always stop before the crosswalk. Don't come to a stop on a crosswalk or block it, which would keep pedestrians from using it. If there is also a white stop line before the crosswalk, stop at the stop line. But if there's no stop line, stop before the crosswalk. Always yield to pedestrians at these crossings to keep everyone safe. Parking spaces are marked by solid lines that can be either yellow or white, and they indicate that your vehicle needs to be maneuvered so that it ends up between those lines to safely park. As you approach a railroad crossing, you'll normally see markings on the pavement consisting of a large letter X with a big R on either side of it, several feet before the actual train tracks. If you see these markings, be sure to stay alert as you approach the tracks, even if the crossing gates aren't down and no signals are going off. In a construction zone, it's especially important to pay attention to where the white and yellow lines are showing you where it's safe to drive. Lanes in construction zones can be narrow and twist back and forth, so following these lines will help you stay safe. Bicycle lanes will be designated by solid white lines separating them from the main road and will usually have a bicycle symbol on them. But whenever you see white symbols or lettering on the pavement, pay attention to what they're trying to tell you. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do that too. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and drive safe.